The House has resumed. Members, the House is debating the second reading of the Kaipara District Council Validation of Rates and Other Matters Bill. Before the dinner adjournment, David Cleandon had the call. He's just under 2 minutes remaining should he wish to avail himself of the opportunity.
Mr Speaker,
David
I would
Cleandon.
so avail, yes. Mr Speaker, thank you. Just before the break, I was making the point that the Select Committee has brought back a better bill than what they received up front. It's still not a lovely piece of legislation, but they've done some good work. One of those things is to ensure that those who have been withheld their rates will not be penalised, that any penalty payments that were added to rates of those people who, for principal reasons, were withholding payment, those penalties will be waived, and that's as it should be. The point's been made, but it was referred to as almost a token return because the people of Mangawhai particularly are facing very large bills. But I think it goes beyond that, because we know, yes, there are some quite wealthy people living in that area, but equally there are quite large numbers of people who may be asset rich but who are on fixed or low incomes, and for that the extra penalty payments would have been quite a significant burden on them to bear. So my last point I'd make is that I think that the point about the banks, or rather Local Government New Zealand suggested that the idea of the banks bearing some responsibility could lead to higher interest rates for other local bodies. I think if the banks have loaned this money carelessly or without due diligence or thought, then I think there is a case to be made that they ought to bear some of this responsibility. If they are getting too comfortable, too much in the comfort zone, thinking that they can never go wrong by lending to local authorities, if they're not doing just good business practice, risk profiling, then perhaps they should stand up and accept some of the responsibility as well. We'll have more to say at later stages, but for the moment, thank you, Mr Speaker.
Mr Speaker.
Paul Goldsmith.
Thank you, Mr Speaker.